Alright, welcome back to Agent in the Hot Box. I'm Dave Wilkerson with Integrity Realty. Today we're going to do something a little different. It's called Investor in the Hot Box. Today I'm with Ryan Steele.
Hi.
Hi.
Who has a sauna in their office? It's flipping hot in here.
Hey, you know, we like to keep things real and have a good time.
Could have warned me. I wouldn't have worn a sweatshirt.
I know, you got a hair out of place. 1 second. Hold on. There we go.
Thanks, Mom.
Alright, you're welcome. So Ryan, the reason we brought you in today is because we wanted to warm you up a little bit.
You wanted me to lose weight? Jeez.
Yes. For the people watching, maybe they don't know you. There are a few people that don't know who you are. How long have you been investing in real estate?
Way too long.
Okay.
Longer than a lot of dirt. 3 decades now.
Oh yeah?
Yes. There are towns that are younger than I am.
That's interesting.
And younger than I've been investing too.
Investing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Do you focus on one area of investing, or are you always looking for the next shift?
You mean as far as like a niche?
Yeah.
I have 2 or 3 that I focus on, and that's it. There's the real estate investing is like saying I want to be in the field of cars. You could be a car salesman, a car designer, work in an auto manufacturing plant, be a mechanic, tow truck driver. The same thing is true in real estate. I do rentals, both single family and multifamilies, and flips. That's pretty much it.
That's your core?
Yeah, I don't do lease options or industrial or farm, or I'm not a developer or builder. That's not what I do.
I hear you have an opinion about wholesaling, but we'll leave that for another day.
I have some opinions.
Okay, so we talked about, yes, I'm sorry, we can turn the temperature down, but then it wouldn't be as much fun.
Can you talk faster at least?
This is the opposite of Kevin Hart's thing where they put people in ice baths.
Oh, well.
So we're the opposite of Kevin Hart.
Cryotherapy.
Cryotherapy, yeah. So you kind of talked about the different areas. So do you find that where you focus changes with the economy? As far as do you go rental, flips, or is it like, I'm doing this, I'm going to make this work no matter what?
No, it actually does. That is true. I mean, no matter what, rentals will always be solid. People always need a place to live. Flipping, you can do it. The demand may not be there, so the profit margins may not be as large. People are still going to be buying houses, but it also means that we have to buy smarter when we buy it.
Okay.
Because when it comes to investing, especially flipping, you make your money when you buy it. If you buy it wrong, there's absolutely nothing you can do to get out of that fiasco.
You own it, you're stuck with it.
Yes.
All right, cool. Well, I know investors, they always seem to have some fun stories. Do you have a crazy story, 1 or 2, that you'd like to share as far as maybe some things you found in homes or people you've dealt with? I hear there's some poles.
There's some poles?
In some of the homes you've had?
Oh, the stripper poles, yeah.
Might not be appropriate for you two, but we'll see.
There's a lot of what we'll
businesses?
call adult exercise clubs.
Equipment?
Yes, there was one property where once the tenant was evicted, they had turned the basement into a strip club. Oh. Literally, like, had signs saying no weapons allowed, cover charge, and, not for younger audiences, but the tenant was not blessed with certain assets that a stripper might be blessed with. The sad part is that the tenant had a few kids that obviously were probably asleep upstairs, and they were running a strip club in the basement. That was pretty bad.
Oh, okay.
But the pole was gone when we got in there, but you can see the holes where it was mounted, so that's always fun.
Funny. Any crazy things that you found when you've first time into a home? As far as historical items, saunas, things like that?
Saunas, yeah. I find saunas. I have found some historicals. I was on a run there for a while where I found a lot of vinyl, like classic records.
Yeah,
I have them. And recently I found another property that had a really classic record player. I got to clean it up. I'm going to see if the two work together.
Yeah.
And maybe in my office I'll start playing some vinyl soon. Who knows?
Very cool.
But hey, Fleetwood Mac Rumors was one of the albums. The White Album by the Beatles was in there. They had some value. I was surprised. Yeah. Paintings are always interesting to find. Money, actually find quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
Jewelry is usually left behind, and most recently the one was dentures.
Dentures,
and they actually called to ask if they could get them back.
I'm sure there's a good resale market for those.
They actually called and said, "Can we have our dentures back?"
Sure. For
actually, I was like, "Can we get dentures?" No, I'm kidding.
Now we're gonna get in trouble.
They're totally gonna get in trouble.
So I guess let's shift gears again to maybe there's somebody listening here that is a budding investor or a budding realtor. So we'll kind of touch on those things a little bit. What advice would you give to a new investor or someone looking to become an investor?
Someone wanting to become an investor, as I mentioned earlier, the breadth of types of investing are varied, and it may not work for you. So what you want to do is go to networking events and talk to people who are active investors and listen to their stories. And if it intrigues you to keep listening, ask that person to meet up and then talk about what they do, because that's the area of investing you're interested in. Too many people try to be the jack of all trades and they're the master of none then, and they don't make money because they try to do too much. Focus on one area, but before you do that, educate yourself on what the areas are and stick with the one that excites you the most.
Okay. And something you said there kind of goes across multiple industries, as far as find the people that are successful at what you want to do. So whether you want to be a realtor or an investor, find the people that have done it and are doing what you want to be, if that's the right way to say it, and learn from their mistakes. So those are free to you. They might have lost thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you can learn that lesson for free just by asking the right question or being around the right person. Or knowing the right practices to be that successful realtor. Find someone that wants to take you under their wing and give you some training and help you out.
True.
I think that's a great way to get started. As far as, let's say specific to, let's say realtors,
I've hired a few.
You've hired a few. What have you learned, what's good and bad about different realtors, and what would you look for as an investor in a realtor, or multiple ones?
Wow, it's a
weekend seminar.
That's a Pandora's box there, but the number one thing that I would want is communication.
Okay.
Communication and an open mind. Too many realtors come in with they think they have the game plan, and they don't realize that someone like me has been in the industry far longer than they have, and I have a better idea of what works most of the time. I'm open to their input, but most of the time they're closed to mine. And then they do the whole set it and forget it routine. I hate that, where they basically put it on the MLS and hope it sells.
Yeah.
They don't attempt to be creative in marketing in any way, shape, or form. They don't want my input in marketing the property, and therefore we have it. With that being said, investors, people have very hard, feelings about that, either good or pro. They're either love them or they hate them. Yeah. Right? The thing is that the average American moves once every just shy of 7 years. And even a lame investor could do at least one property a year. So you can get 7 listings in the time frame it takes one person to do one on a normal one. So I suggest you do it, but with anything, I'm not going to list with an agent that just comes up to me one time. I need to trust you, because this is my life, this is my income, this is how I put food on my table for my family, and I want to build a relationship with you. So you better keep showing up, keep talking to me, keep working it, but don't jump on my throat. If we go fishing, I want to sit there and throw the bait out, reel it in, work the area. Don't jump in the water and try to beat the fish with a fist and then throw it in the boat, because that's what you're doing when you're trying to get me to list the very first time we meet. Don't do that.
Okay. So you want someone that's just there to gain your trust, possibly even learn from you at the same time.
It's a long-term relationship that needs to be built over time.
Okay. And you talked about communication, so let's circle back to that real quick. So I know a lot of agents, they think communication is either weekly or monthly follow-up saying, hey, we had this many showings, you've done this, we've done this. Basically, they just communicate facts, which really isn't helpful. It's just basically saying, sorry, it's not sold. Mm-hmm. So I would think maybe behind what you were saying is communication is, this is what we've done, hey, let's try this, this, and this, let's change the wording, let's reorganize the pictures as far as what we want to show in the first 10 photos. Maybe come to you with ideas every month, or like you said, since you've been in the industry so long, listen to your ideas and be willing to make those changes. It's not just, here's regurgitating factual information every month, yeah, sorry, it hasn't sold.
Usually when I'm buying a property and then I'm fixing it up, I have an idea of the type of person that's going to buy the property too. What they're into. Is it a starter home? Is it more of a family area? Then work with me and ask me what I think, and then how we can come up with a plan to put the property in front of them. How do we pitch the property? Is it are we looking for first-time buyers? Should we get a renter out and turn them into a buyer? And I have ideas, because I own a lot of rental properties, and a lot of sometimes my tenants turn into buyers. Yeah. So, having that open communication and sharing the feedback. Don't just try to, for me at least, don't try to summarize it. I want to see the feedback and really push to get the feedback from showing agents. Like, hey, you showed my house, give me feedback. It's valuable for me, the client, to say, oh, well, maybe I do need to finish this or that on the property. You know, they really do want a fence back there. Well, okay, it might make sense for me to put in a fence. But if you don't share the feedback and wait for 30 days, you're going to lose that listing.
All right. Now let's flip that coin and say, as a realtor, we're flipping things up. Good luck. Heads, always.
Sorry, it was a liner.
A liner. It's balanced. Bottle cap. So, realtors, usually when they're getting in, they heard those numbers as far as investors are buying and selling at least one home a year, things like that. So that's an intriguing market for new agents, for the turns. What are things that they should be looking for in investors? Where could they go to find people like you to earn their business? We know that they have to earn your trust, but where do they go to find these investors?
The first thing I would do is state a word of caution. Late night infomercials are pretty popular, and as me, I know when someone is coming to town and they do that slew of events in a weekend, because
Gurus.
I get the calls of investors saying, I'm an investor, I do this, and they're really not. And you're going to have that happen as a new realtor. You're going to want to say, oh, that's great, I got this client, and they're going to have you pull comp after comp after comp, and they're never going to use you, and you're going to waste your time. Two things. One, be leery of that, ask them for addresses of properties that they have done themselves, not ones they're interested in buying, to see if they've actually concluded the transaction. Number two is don't think all investors are like that. We're not. And with that being said, it's a relationship. If you want to get out and meet people. Find where investors hang out. Where do investors buy property? Sheriff's auctions, in-person auctions. They go to networking groups. Go to them, but go to them regularly. Don't just go one time and go, well, I didn't get anything. It's just it's throwing in the towel. I don't marry someone after the first date.
Yeah.
Let's date for a little while before I, get into a contract with you.
Yep.